Navigation between views is triggered by firing outbound plugs. Firing an outbound plug raises a navigation event. Navigation events are special asynchronous events that are placed into a navigation queue. Multiple of these outbound plugs can be fired from one view. Which ones are used to determine the next UI? The navigation queue is processed at certain points of time in the Web Dynpro processing phase. Until this time, the navigation stack can be extended by firing additional outbound plugs, or the complete navigation stack can also be deleted. Outbound plugs are named according to the action that caused the navigation away from the current view. Inbound plugs have special event handler methods that subscribe to the navigation events raised when outbound plugs are fired. Inbound plug methods are called only when navigation queue is processed. This only takes place after the views in the current view assembly have fired their outbound plugs and no validation error occurs that can cancel the navigation. Inbound plugs should be named according to the reason the view is displayed. Outbound and inbound plugs are joined together using navigation links. Linking an inbound plug to an outbound plug means registering the inbound plug event handler method to the navigation event that is called by firing an outbound plug. Navigation links are defined in a window. Outbound plugs and event handler methods related to the inbound plug can have parameters allowing you to pass data between the views if you do not want to pass your data by using the context. An action is used to link a client-side event to an event handler method in the corresponding view controller. Now we want to extend our existing own project by creating a second view. Remember, the first view was called main. Right now it has only a text view displaying hello world. We want to be able, by means of a button on the first view, to navigate to the second view, and then there by using another button to navigate back to the first view. You should know that with Web Dynpro you cannot use the browser buttons back and forth. You have to use your own application buttons. Let's get started. So this is the layout of our main view. We do not have any inbound plugs or outbound plugs yet. To enable one-way navigation between the two views, that means from main to the second view, we need at least an outbound plug here. So let's call this to second view. Let me save this. We create an inbound plug from second view. And now let's have a look at our window. The main view is already embedded in the window. That's the reason why we can see it. And there we see our main view with the two plugs, one outbound plug and one inbound plug, which we can move around here. You can also use the old window editor, which is available with this button, which is not that visual. So we go back to the new button. Now we have to provide the button on our main view. Let's add the button here. And remember, the button needs to trigger an action. An action is a client-side event, which then can in turn call the outbound plug on the view. To make the button useful, we need to assign an action. The action doesn't exist yet, so we use here the button create, call the action to second, I don't know what's wrong with typing today, and because we have created the outbound plug first before creating the action, now we can simply pick it up here. The advantage is that now the workbench will create the necessary coding to call the plug, to fire the plug. So we want to give a text to the button and make it a little bit nicer. That's it. You see the whole layout. There's the text view, there's the button, close to close. That's not nice, but we don't discuss the layout in this section. This is coming later. All right, from a view point of view, we are done here. Now it's time to create the second view. We right click on the views folder, create. Keep it simple here, call it second view. We also add inbound and outbound plugs. Remember, when we create a button, assign an action, we can make use of the Web ABAP Workbench code generation feature. We have our plugs already. So we are in second, want to navigate to main, and we create an inbound plug and call it from main. Now we can go back to the layout and also create a button here. I do not add any other element because the button serves the purpose here of the demonstration. We will have one button only, so also the name doesn't really matter. Create an action to main, trigger my new created outbound plug, and that's it. Activate the view. Now we have created the button on the second view, but it also has no label. So let's give it a nice label, improve the design a bit. And now I want to see, what does it actually mean to create an action? What has been created here? We double click the action, and we don't end up on the action tab. We directly end up on the methods tab. In the method, on action, to main. To main is our action name. We will be able to see it here on the actions tab. To main, when we double click it, we also end up on the methods tab. And what has been implemented is already, by picking up the outbound plug, is this ABAP implementation. W did this, and fire to main plug, PLG. What this means, W did this, will also be explained in a later unit. So our two views are finished. Now we want to get back to the window and enable the navigation. So we simply link outbound to inbound. Now from second view to main view. Start view here is second view, destination view is main view. And we do the same thing here. Main to second. Main to second. That's it. This plug here you can ignore. right now, because it's an inbound plug for the window, not for the views. It will be used by default when the user enters the URL into the browser and calls our Web Dynpro. So that's all done. Let's activate. And after the activation, we can call the application again. Don't forget, it's just the URL. The URL hasn't been changed. And now we can navigate.